Hey guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll actually be your friendly castle keeper this evening, because today we are starting off a new parallel war story. Those who are regulars to the channel will know what a war story is, but if you are new to the channel, or if you have not seen any of our war stories from the past, what we'd like to do sometimes is either when we have change in availability for people, or when we just want to tell a story that fills in some backstory, either for some of the player characters from our campaigns, or that fill out different parts of the world. We like to run these short adventures that fill in some of the story by actually playing, as opposed to just describing what happened or writing backstory. And we also like to use these opportunities to try out different systems. So this is part of our regular, or this adventure takes place in our regular Legacy of the Crystal Shard campaign that we play with Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition. And this, instead of exposition, yeah, exactly, instead of exposition grandma, one of the most famous residents of the Barrow Maze. Campaign, or this war story, we're going to play with Troll Lord Games Castles and Crusades. And there are a number of different editions that are out for. We're playing with the 8th printing of the Player's Handbook. This is the most recent, at time of recording, ones that came out. The 3rd printing of the Castle Keeper's Guide, and I don't know what printing it is of the Monster and Treasures rulebook. But if you're not familiar with Castles and Crusades is a part of the old school movement. It predates the OSR, because it was one of the first games that tried to take the open game license and adapt it to play in more of an old school style. It's gone through a lot of innovations and changes since that time, and it's also, like a lot of games do, it expands into its own area. So there are unique classes in it, unique spells and whatnot that don't exist in other games. So it's sort of got like an evolutionary history, like Pathfinder in that way. But I find it's a really interesting, it also, I should say, it's got some interesting innovations where it's got some more modern game mechanics, but with the old school sensibilities. And then it has a couple of things that are its own thing, including the siege engine mechanic that drives the game, and we're going to talk about that as we go on. Yeah, the task resolution thing is neat. The game takes advantage of relative power levels. We talked about this before we went live, but it uses relative power levels to gauge difficulties of things in a way that usually more modern games do. 4th edition, Pathfinder 2nd edition, and to a degree a D&D 5th edition do it. So Starfinder as well. That makes use of a lot of like level parity kind of stuff. Otherwise, though, you will find anything you would expect to find in a classic Dungeons & Dragons game, you will find in this one as well. Now, this particular war story is called Prey and the Pack, and it features our latest addition to our regular Legacy of the Crystal Shard campaign, Trin Stainpaw, a Gnoll who was part of the sort of Gnoll alliance that was subservient to a Gnoll vampire called Tekeli Lee. But some troublesome heroes showed up and murdered that guy, and then things kind of went to pot for the Gnolls. First off, let me introduce you to the stars of our Prey in the Pack war story. And I'll have the guys tell you who they're playing. We'll start with Trin's player himself, Darren. Darren, who are you playing today?
Well, I'm playing the famous Trin Stainpaw from our normal campaign. He's in this one, he's still a level 5 Gnoll Rogue. But a Crusaders or Castles and Crusaders version. And then for joining him today is Kurg's Splitfang, who is a level 4 Warrior Priest Gnoll.
Mm-hmm. Warrior Priest is one of the classes that is unique to Castles and Crusades. It is similar sort of to a Paladin, kind of. It's an interesting halfway point. It's got some elements of Paladin, but, definitely it has its own, a lot more versatility with casting than what a Paladin does. Next up is Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave. I'm not new to Legacy of the Crystal Shard, but not recent either. So it's good to be back on the table, and interesting to be playing Voxot Sootfoot, who is a monk primal druid. Sounds like a pretty awesome combination. I'm pretty excited to play.
Nice. You'll see that many of the characters we've got in this war story take advantage of the very, very interesting multi-classing rules from Castles and Crusades. Last, but certainly not least, is Andrew.
Good morning, everyone. I am Andrew, and I'm playing Morma Grimetooth, Nope, it passed. A barbarian scald.
It's very much getting into character, playing a canine character that does the big, like, sneeze.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll still hit me at some point, I'm sure. And then also playing Zirk, Craigsnag, a cleric wizard. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing how these play out.
Very nice. So we started a little bit late today because we were going through just an explanation of some of the rules and whatnot. This is our first time. This is my first time running Castles and Crusades ever, and I think it's all of our first time playing Castles and Crusades. So we're going to inevitably get to some things wrong, or we may need to look up some rules. One of the interesting things with Castles and Crusades, the player's handbook has like the base set of rules in it. We're playing with everything that's in there, but the Castle Keeper's Guide is their equivalent of the DMG. It has a enormous amount of really interesting optional rules in it, or variants of the rules, and we're playing with a bunch of different variants in it. So if you're seeing things that are in our game that are different from what is in the player's book, which you can actually get at the time of recording, you can get it for free from Drive-Thru RPG. It's the 7th printing, that's the free copy, but there's very little difference between that and the 8th printing. So if you do want to check this game out, you can find that. I didn't think to link it down below, but maybe I'll go back and do that. Although I don't know if it's always going to be free, so it might be a dead link soon. In any event, one of the key things you'll see is we're playing with the Hero Point and Luck Point variant from the Castle Keeper's Guide. We are also playing with, we'll bring them up as we go along. I don't think we need to go through them until we need to. So, guys, our scene opens. Let me grab everyone's character here. Now, one thing I forgot, make note, if you wouldn't mind, of where you guys have all 2 hero points right now. Make note of how many luck points are, because I've got tokens set up on another map that I have forgotten to, I forgot to get you to roll before I set those up. So our scene opens on, I'm just going to use a older image we've used here, which is a little low. There we go. So what we see before us, guys, is a massive mountains, the Spine of the World Mountains looming up before a snow-covered, blasted wasteland. It's dark, night has fallen, and there is some moonlight poking out above. There is almost no sign of civilization whatsoever here. No sign of any living being, even no animal, no living, sentient creature. But curiously, sitting amongst some scrub trees, some stubborn survivors in this wild and untamed and unforgiving landscape, there is a fairly heavily laden sled. And this looks like the sled itself is probably about 12 to 15 feet long. It's got a bunch of stuff on there, and there are hides that are tied together to secure all the things that were on there. It's the kind of thing that you would be pulled either by people or by draft animals, dogs perhaps, or hyenas, depending on your culture's pack animals. But there's no sign of anything there. The blowing snow is going around. There isn't snow accumulated on this thing. So it doesn't look like it's been sitting there for very long. But you can see almost like, in a more modern era, like a track, or a train line that ran out of track. There's lines that cut through the snow that suddenly stop where this is. And there's no sign of what was dragging the snow or the owners, or dragging the sled or the owners of the sled. And then, in the darkness, we see the first of them. Hunched, canine features on a pack of raiders. one by one, slowly approaching. There's a first wave of about 5, all armed with melee weapons, spears, swords, hunched over, approaching this. Behind them, a row of archers. And then last, at the end, robed figures carrying staves and strange, arcane artifacts made from the living bodies of other things. They seem to be directing what's going on. These large, hunched, hyena-like figures slowly move in on this thing, sniffing at the air. One of them says, "Where are they? Where are they?" Another says, "They've gone. They've fled." And they all sort of break out in laughing. "It's ours then. It's ours." And they slowly start moving in on the sled. And that's when our camera moves slightly to the side. And we can see under the snow-covered bushes near where this is, a single set of eyes open from its point of concealment beneath the snow. And what we can see, guys, let me move you over to our battle mat here. I'll shift ping here. This is our scene, guys. You have been dragging these supplies. This is after your tribe or your pack made its escape from the others. We'll talk more about what happened, but suffice it to say, after the death of Tekeli Lee, there was no longer any solidifying force among the Gnoll tribes, and things got very bad very, very quickly. In the midst of a horrific snowstorm, your tribe spread to the winds, intending on meeting up again, but you guys knew that you were being followed.
My snowstorm looks like it's also at night.
Oh, let me turn off here. Well, it is technically at night.
Or maybe I'm still got my eyes closed and Trin's the only one who's opened his eyes. I don't know.
I'll bet you it's
Trin's
because...
still got his eyes closed as well. But
you know what? Legacy lighting. There we go, guys. How's that?
Oh,
There we go.
there you go.
So this is where you find yourselves. That is who is approaching on there. Each square is
I love the sled.
5 feet. So that thing is laden. It is with many of the most precious supplies. There was not a lot of time to decide who's going with what. It was a matter of like throwing together groups. So we can find out what the relationship Trin has with all of these different heroes. But where Trin is, that is where the ambush is set up. Now, there's one thing I'm going to assume is that Gurg, Splitfang, and Vuxot, Sootfoot, you guys have cast at some point earlier today, I can't remember if it's resist elements or endure elements. Yeah, because it has a 24-hour duration, so it means that you aren't affected by the cold for the entire day. So you guys are all concealed along. This rival band is moving up to steal some of the vital supplies that you were entrusted with. You are currently lost on the Icewind Dale. You are trying to find a way to get your way back to the tribe to bring not only these supplies, but each other back there. But you will not do so while being hounded by these things. So I believe it was Trin's idea to set a trap. So, guys, now, do you wish to spring your trap now? The way that ambushing works in this is you have one full round of actions before your enemies get a chance to act. You can choose to let them move for another round. I guess first off, who is going to be the one to trigger the ambush? I will tell you that Trin has two different... One of the things that CNC does with rogues is it breaks out the idea of the old school backstab and the new school sneak attack. You have both. Backstab necessitates that the target is completely unaware of you and you're using a melee weapon, but it does triple damage at your level. sneak attack, you can use any weapon up to 30 feet. It gives +2 to hit, +4 to damage, and they just need to not be aware of the attack. They can be aware of you.
Yeah, but he hasn't got a ranged weapon, so.
You got your shortbow.
What was he?
Yeah.
Sorry. No,
yeah, you made extensive use of that in the other campaign. So,
yeah.
And we're also using the optional rules for pull strength because I didn't realize how strong Trin is. You've got a particularly powerful bow, so you're able to pull this thing back, and it does, cool. I think, 1d6 +3 damage.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it was Trin's idea, so we let Trin do
Trigger. So you guys can let me take a round of movement, or you can spring your attack now. You guys tell me.
He has he's been advised by maybe some of the others who are more magical in nature that he fears these magic users. So he wants ideally the whole group to get a little bit closer so we can take some pot shots at these magic users, when they're a little bit closer in bow range. For those
of you, I don't think anyone's got like counter spells or necessarily something to counter any other types of things, but one of the neat things you can do, if you know if someone's going to cast a spell, like if you're going to cast a spell, you have to say that that's what you're doing for the initiative thing. The other players can make an intelligence check to try and guess what spell it is. And then if you decide you want to change your spell in response to whatever they're doing, then you just cast at the end of the round instead. There's no modifiers for dexterity, for weapon speed, for casting time in the game. Whatever you roll for your initiative on the 1d10, that's when you act. The dexterity is used as a tiebreaker only. So it's easier to get like spells off and shit like that than it is in,
But if you get hit before you cast,
if
it
you
would
get hit,
interrupt
so here's
you.
one of those things we talked about that's a little interesting. So what it says is you need to make a concentration check, or you can make a concentration check. I have yet to find the rules for what that actually fucking means. There is a advantage that gives you +3 to your concentration check. I think what it would mean, or the way I would rule it, is you take just like you would with any other thing, it's the hit dice of the thing attacking you. The level of it, or the hit dice or whatnot, that becomes the difficulty to resist it. So, if it's a troll with 9 hit dice, that means that the challenge level is a 9.
You just use intelligence or wisdom, depending on.
Yeah, so like whether they happen to roll a shit ton of damage or just a little bit of damage, you can do that. And I think what I'll rule is that like on a successful concentration check, you don't lose the spell, you just don't cast it this round. On a critical success, like a nat 20, that means you still get the spell off in spite of the damage, and on a fail, you lose the spell. And on a critical fail, your head explodes. So, just watch those ones, guys. All right, so anyway, Trin, they're moving in. You said you're going to let them move in a little further?
I would like to watch them for at least one more sort of round.
Sure.
Just to see if the others move a bit closer as well.
Noel's going to move 30 feet, so 1, 2... And I think we'll do the 5th edition thing. We're not going to count, what do you call it? Most definitely Vuxot. Yep. We're not going to bother with, diagonals. We'll do the 5th edition rule and just... Diagonals count the same for everybody.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Just because with
take that. We take that.
So the melee ones seem really eager to get in there. 1, 2, 3. The others are moving a little slower, as if they're, the archers. 2, 3. They are mindful that there may be an ambush here. And the casters are... So they're only moving... if you want to attack, you can only move half your speed unless you're doing a charge. But you need to declare your charge at the start of the turn. 1, 2, 3. And they're sort of keeping behind. That's where they've moved this turn. Trin, do you wish to do anything for ambush? You want to give another round?
These guys, they're still... just going for all the supplies, and
they've just reached their
super busy still.
What they're about to do is start tearing the tarp off and start going through the supplies.
And I don't think there's anything super sensitive on there that's going to be, damaged or.
Possibly. I mean, one of the things you would know is that if you were the raiding gnoll, unless it's something valuable, you generally kind of want to smash it because that's just sort of. It's a lot of fun.
Right, okay, so there is a danger of potentially, okay. All right, I would probably give off the sort of loud whistle then and let fly with ranged weapons.
Okay,
and
so
those are running.
You could also just unleash. Oh, might I make so here's another option.
Letting your arrow go is enough, probably, for all of us. We're all like watching you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Another thing that is cool with so you don't automatically have multiple attacks with your ranged weapons. But what you can do is you can choose to make extra ranged weapons, or actually ranged attacks, extra ranged weapons. Yeah, you're Boba Fett. You suddenly develop 6 arms. What you can do is you can make one arrow shot per round at no penalty, 2 at -2, 3 at -4, and 4 at -8. So if you choose to, your call, it's not like AD&D where it's iterative, where you got to do like one and then it's your second round. You do all of them all the first time. So your choice of whether you wish to do the what do you call it, things. But let's do this. Let's get some dice rolling here. So if you click on your token, guys, and then click on initiative, we'll just get an order here, and then we'll shift everyone so that Trin's going to act first. But the rest of you guys have been prepping your things. So make sure to click on your token and then click on initiative. It's right near the top of the first page of your character sheet.
I'm clicking the right token in the right character sheet.
Yeah. Honestly, it doesn't make a big difference because it's only just a D10 they're rolling.
Right. Yeah.
So here we go. Zerg, nice. 10, very good, Zerg.
Wow, why can I not see that?
Initiative's top left. It's like right underneath where the above where the turn rolls is.
Above the armor.
There you go. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, flipping it.
Okay. Nice. Buckshot, Mormo, Trin, and okay. So there we go. So I'm just going to move Trin, who rolls a 1 to the top.
Bad. Both of mine roll 1.
All right, so Trin's up first this round. Trin, what are you doing?
So 1, 2, 3, 4. He'd like to shoot those guys at the back, but to get his sneak benefit, he would need to shoot one of the melee guys because it's within 30 feet, isn't it?
Yeah, within 30 feet for the sneak attack.
So he's going to take advantage of that, I think. So he's going to fire 2 shots at the nearest sort of guy.
Okay.
Sort of looking at the sledge.
All right, so let's see here. The situation modifiers.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm like strangely excited to be playing a Gnoll.
I love Gnoll.
Yeah, Dave, you get used to it after a while.
All right. So then, go ahead and make your attack roll. So you got +2 to your attack.
There is 2 dice rolls, so.
And you didn't add did you add the +2 into that?
No, it didn't give me the option.
Okay, so that's cool. We'll just add it in after. So 13, that is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage for that one.
Is the second dice the damage dice? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
8. So 8 +4 is 12. What's it look like as this first one dies?
Yeah, I mean, he's got this big grin on his face as he's just pulling back this and expecting to find all sorts of goodies that you know he's going to consume or break or whatever he's doing, and then just all forward, arrow through the mouth. The guy next to him just, don't even get a second to turn around probably.
Looks over. Go ahead and make your second attack.
As the other arrow flies.
13 is a hit as well. Same. Yep. Go ahead and roll damage. 8.
8 damage.
He's about to cry out, and then the arrow hits him right in the head again. He drops down dead. Zirk, you're up next.
Zirk is okay. So, shoot, I had what I was gonna do. Zirk is going to cast a spell. Second level spell, protection from arrows.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it says here, it's CT1. Is that
cast it one round? So that means your action.
Okay. Yep. Okay. That makes sense.
Yep.
It's self, so it's touch. That makes sense. It lasts 10 minutes per level. shields recipient from attacks from normal missiles and ranged weapons for the duration. Also shields from one attack. Oh my god, it won't matter in this case, so it's irrelevant. But it also saves you from one attack from a boulder or ballista.
I mentioned the frost giant in the back, right?
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, 30 for the next 30 minutes. Zirk is protected from arrows.
And most important, what is Zirk's protection from?
It doesn't seem. I don't know what it. Like it doesn't say. It doesn't say anything. It just says it shields from attacks from normal missiles and ranged weapons. It doesn't give like a minus. It doesn't give a save modifier.
No,
like,
it just means you're not. That means you can't get hit.
Oh.
Yeah, you're immune to normal weapons.
That seems like a bit OP for a second level spell.
It's pretty awesome.
How long does it last?
30 minutes.
10 minutes per level.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's insane.
So what does it look like as you cast a spell?
So Zirg mumbles some incoherent thing. And I guess a glowing kind of whitish bluish light kind of expands out and then kind of condenses around him and he seems to be shimmering now.
So here's one thing with where this differs from AD&D. You cannot move when you cast spells. You don't get any half move or anything. No before, no after. On the round you're casting spells, you cannot move at all.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, that I feel like that is fair given the spell I just cast.
Absolutely.
Question about the order and stuff. Are we deciding what we're doing in advance, like in AD&D? Or
No. The only thing, if you're casting a spell, you need to declare that beforehand. And then so you have to decide that, and then it's if you look at the maneuvers, there's certain maneuvers you have to declare that you would be doing if you're anything that affects your AC generally. So if you're doing if you're charging, dodging, evading, doing offensive focus.
All the ones that we talked about that had
exactly we talked about before.
modifier.
Those ones you need to declare beforehand, because either it means you won't be rolling initiative, because you're not taking an action that round, or it's something that it's going to affect your AC. Other than that, you can make up on your turn what you want to do.
Okay, so if I didn't declare a spell earlier, then I'll just
no. You can absolutely take a spell this turn. We're all learning here. So
okay,
this is a surprise round, isn't it?
Exactly. It's an ambush round, so like they're not having actions anyway, so it doesn't interfere with whatever they're doing. So then Zirk, that is the end of Zirk's turn. Mormo, what are you doing, Mormo?
Right, Mormo. Now he is gonna. You start hearing from down here. A low guttural like humming and there's a pattern and a cadence to it that it grows and it's going to continue growing. Morma is going to start singing his war chant.
Nice.
Or his war song.
Yeah, and his
so.
What is it? What's the bonus to it? It's because
so everyone, all allies within 200 feet. So this would be everybody here. I did the measuring. It grants +1 to all attribute, to hit, and damage rolls to allies within 200 feet.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does not say a duration, however.
It's as long as you keep singing.
Oh.
You use your action to get a class ability started, but then after that, you can feel free to do whatever you want each round. It'll continue.
Well then, so he's starting his war song, so everybody gets +1 to attributes, to hit, and damage rolls.
Okay, so I think like the two guys are hit, and the archers kind of look over in one direction, and then there's this gnoll that starts chanting and howling in the other. Like, whoa! Vuxot, what are you doing?
Well, this is where the crazy druid gets going. So right after Mormo starts doing his chanting, Vuxot starts to cast a spell, and he's like starts sprinkling like animal bones and starts howling, and then all of a sudden entangling plants start reaching up around the 3 melee fighters. And
the 3 ones around the area there?
Yeah, it's 50-foot diameter.
Holy smokes.
Was that?
That's this whole area.
I don't think that. These are 10-foot squares or 5-foot squares?
5-foot squares.
Yeah, this is only 50 feet across the trees.
50-foot diameter.
Yeah, not radius
that-
damage. So it's the full. Yeah, it's basically that entire area around there, and then also. Let's see
That's
here.
gonna get everybody, including us.
Yeah, pretty much. 25
Yeah.
feet is
Is that what
but-
you intended?
No, I thought it was smaller than that.
because you're within. Hey, Dave, I got
Used
news
to it
for
being
you.
like only like a 20-foot
Also, I was looking at. Check out the range on that.
It's 450 feet. That's ridiculous.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Can't you send it over sort of over here somewhere? Sort of start it off way over there.
Wow.
Yeah, I could. You know what? I could still do that. I could cast it back to over here so that it only gets like these guys.
Yeah, yeah. So then
The
each of them
archers and the-
minus
So they
2
can't
to
run away.
attack, minus 4 to effective dexterity. They cannot move, and casting spells with a somatic component is impossible. Now they do get a dex save against it.
Yeah.
So the way saves work, guys, is so we figure out whether it's their primary or secondary, tertiary thing, because I need to make the saves for these guys here. I'll do it in chat actually, just because it'll we'll all see how this works. Primary now for your PCs, you guys have the benefit of 10, 14, and 18 for your things. Normally, it's a 12 for primary and it's an 18 for secondary. There's no tertiary stuff. I'm going to use that for NPCs because you guys are badasses. You get the benefit of better target numbers. So they have a 12 DC because they all gnolls have physical stats as a primary thing. They are 2 hit dice creatures, so they get +2. But Voxot is a level 3 druid, which means the challenge rating or the challenge level for it is a 3. So 12 plus 3 is a 15. They need to roll a 15 or better with 1d20 plus 2. And if they got a dex bonus, if they did have a dex bonus, we'd roll that too. Okay, so I need a 15 or better. So we'll go with the first Gnoll caster, failed. Second Gnoll caster, failed. Archer number 1 succeeds. Archer number 2 fails. Archer number 3 fails. Archer number 4 succeeds. So I'll put little dots. Otherwise, everybody else is trapped in this stuff as you sprinkle your bones, and then this entangling roots come up. He's free, and she's free.
Guys,
Okay.
this is pretty cool.
Breaking free requires a successful strength check. So it'll be the exact same bonus, and it's the same difficulty.
Yeah, they're like little chunks of rabbit bone and stuff.
Nice. And each round, the plants once again attempt to entangle all creatures who have avoided or escaped entanglement. So they got to make a save one way or the other. All right. So Voxot, that's you. Then it is Gurg.
Okay. Seeing all this wildlife and plant life all coming up from the ground. Was that have the same effect on us? Do we know?
It has no effect on you guys. He's positioned, I think, just so it's grabbing you. If you move into the area, though, yeah, you're still. It'll try and grab you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, any creature within or moving through the location.
Okay. So I am gonna try 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to charge. I'm gonna charge straight in.
Okay.
To engage
All right.
this guy here.
Okay, so that means you get +2 to damage, but -4 to your AC this round. But being the canny player you are, you know that only lasts for this round, which means they're not going to be able to counterattack.
Yeah. So yeah, the surprise would be a surprise. He hasn't got a shield, I don't think, so he'll
Nope.
try two-handed.
Okay. So we go. Yeah, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage, and you get +2.
Yeah.
So
9.
9 damage. Another one. Cut down. He's down. Then that brings us to the end of the round, guys. Let's remove all turns here. And then, guys, once again, first off, is anybody doing anything that will affect their initiative? Anyone casting a spell or doing any maneuver?
I was going to charge in as well.
Okay, so charge just means that you're you still roll initiative. It just means that you're again that AC modifier. Anyone else doing anything else? Offensive fighting or dodging, evading, casting spells?
Casting. I don't know. I think Zirk. Yeah, Zirk will cast a spell.
Okay. So you just need to bear in mind what you're casting. That's it. Otherwise, it sounds like everyone's rolling initiative this round. So go ahead, guys. Click on your tokens. Click on your initiative. And I will roll for our enemies here.
Okay, there it is. Found it. Okay, initiative.
Okay.
Why can't I? Oh, because I'm on the wrong layer, of course, or wrong thing here. God, I am just a mess. Sorry. I'm coming.
It's okay. Ooh.
There we go. And now. One off.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So see one more. We're missing.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm coming.
Nice. All right. So then, first up, we've got Zirg.
Zirg,
what are you doing?
Is gonna stay where he is again, and we are. So he's gonna cast magic missile.
Nice.
At one of these guys here. He notices these hooded guys, and he knows his target.
Yep.
Okay, so range 150 feet, so that's great.
Yep.
5 from caster's hand. Missile deals 1d4 plus 1 points of damage.
Yep.
As long as the caster can see the target and all targets are in the 20-foot diameter, the missile will hit.
Yep.
Oh, wow. I don't even need to roll.
No. Well, I mean, magic missile. There's only like. In one iteration of 4th edition, you had to roll to hit with magic missile. Every other version of the game, it always auto hits.
Okay.
So the question is, I think at level 3, do you get your second missile?
Whoa.
That's the only thing I can't remember.
For every 2 levels of experience beyond first level, the caster gains an additional missile. Okay.
Yep.
The caster has 2 at 3rd level, 3 at... Okay, cool.
Yeah, so give us a 2d4, and this is where the 20-foot radius thing comes in, is that you can choose...
and they can target... If the caster shoots multiple missiles, the caster can have them strike at a single creature or at different creatures.
Yeah.
The caster must designate targets before rolling for damage. Oh,
yeah.
Super cool. So I could hit both these guys.
If you
I
like,
could try
yeah.
to. Sure, why don't I try to do that?
Okay, so for the first one, give us 1d4 plus 1.
Yeah.
And then tell us what your magic missiles look like.
I'm gonna just my staff. I imagine I have a staff in my hands,
Yep.
and this bolt of green energy just spirals around the wooden.
Now I know this is going to be
cudgel.
really, a strange position for you to be in, Andrew. But you're playing a character who has a overpowered healing item. Your healing staff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it just comes through my hands then. The staff.
No.
will be for
The
healing.
way you described it is perfectly fine. I only mentioned it because
okay.
you've got, just like Cola and his ring, Zirk actually has a healing staff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That seems very foreign to me. I have no idea how that feels.
All right, so the first one
okay, so the
slams
first
into
one.
this guy, and then roll damage for the second one. 5 damage, nice. Okay. So you lash out, and these magical bolts slam into these things that are trying to pull themselves free of this fucking entangling roots. Then it is the melee Gnoll's turn. So one of them is going to scramble up and over the thing here and come down and try and attack Gurg. So let's see here, Gurg. Your AC. So I have your AC on your written character sheet is actually wrong. I forgot to include your hide bonus because Noel's got that. So you actually have a 19 AC. The roll 20 character sheet is correct. The written character sheet is incorrect. So AC 19 right now, and you didn't take advantage of either your power attack or your whatever the defensive thing is. So you haven't modified it at all.
No, it's normal attack.
Okay, so I got +2 to hit. I need a 17 to hit you, and I rolled a 2. So the first one comes in, clumsily swings at you, and like a master swordsman, you batter it aside. The other one, though, is going to be clever. So one of the things that Castles and Crusades makes a difference of is the difference between flank attacks, which get +1 to hit, and back attacks, which I believe get +2. Your facing is sort of important. It is a +2.
Attack +2.
+2. Okay. This one is gonna. Do I have enough movement? 1, 2, Yeah, I can. So if you're moving away from an engagement, you have to decide whether you're going to move like defensively and not do anything and not take a free strike, or move away at like, you know, without caution and have someone attack. But I'm not quite clear. I haven't looked up for any clarifications on it. It looks like it uses an attack to do an attack of opportunity. So it's not like other versions of the game where you get like to spam a bunch of stuff. It just means that you automatically get to make an attack. It just that if you have an attack that round, it uses up that attack to make an attack of opportunity. So anyway, I only mention that because, you know, different versions of the game have different ways that we trigger AoEs. Or attack AoAs, I guess. Okay, so this one then comes in. He has +2 to hit you now. He needs only a 15. It's still really high. And a 5 will not do it. So these two are trying to get around you, but I mean, like, since you were a pup, you've been clad in iron. You keep them at a distance. I believe those are the only surviving ones. The other ones bleed out, dying. Gurg, what are you doing?
Well, yeah, he's gonna try and engage this one that's in front of him.
Okay.
Try and get rid of him before spinning round.
Okay.
But obviously, so the power attack, it only modifies his base hit. It doesn't affect his armor class or anything like that.
No,
so,
power attack, it just modify your hit. You trade hit for damage. And the other one, what is it called? Like Whirling Blades or something like that?
The Curtain of Steel.
Curtain of Steel. That's the one where you trade off, I believe, is you trade off to hit for AC.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna try a power attack. So I'm just gonna reduce my +3 to +1 basically to do 2 extra damage.
Okay.
Not sure how I'm gonna do that on the dice roll, but
we'll modify it after the fact.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Just a 19 is still a hit. So go ahead and roll damage, and you've got what, +2 to that?
2. Yep.
With sweep of that huge sword, you cut out its legs. There's a yelp, and then you bring down and cut down to where the tarp is.
And just spins round, growling at the one behind him.
Yeah. Trin, what are you doing?
He's gonna try and loose off a shot at this cloak figure over here.
Okay.
So he hasn't got his sneak now, so he's just gonna take a single sort of one shot.
Okay.
Concentrate his fire.
Yep, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Holy hit! So he's hit by this magical thing. He's trying to pull the vines off of him. Fuck! This huge arrow sticks into his chest. He slumps forward, and like the writhing vine just grab his body and pull it down. Trin, you okay? I can't remember if you can move after a shot. Let's say you can. It'll be just like
I mean, I think he probably is just sort of liking the fact that he's in a bit of cover in the tree line.
Yep.
So he's using it to his advantage. He probably knows he's been spotted, but he still feels safety there.
Yeah, you got it.
It's not a secured position.
Then it is Mormo's turn. Mormo, what are you doing?
Mormo is going to continue singing.
Okay.
And he's gonna try to get a better.
Right, everyone should have +1 to hit, +1 damage because of Mormo's war chamber. I forgot. Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, you guys have been killing these things one with each shot, so.
I can't. Well, because you said I can't move and attack on the same turn.
You can you can move half your move and attack.
I can half my move.
Yeah.
And Mormo has.
Or you could have declared at the start of your turn a charge.
I could have. Yeah, the charge. I realized after I should have. So it's 35 feet. So that's my full movement. So I can't do both. Shoot. Mormo's gonna just sit here and continue singing. He'll try to charge in next turn.
Okay. Why would things be different next turn if everything's caught up in entangling?
Oh, right. I'm still going to have to. So it's not just I can't charge.
You can move this round still.
I meant that if I move out from where I am in cover, I'm going to be exposed.
Right. You're a barbarian, right?
Yeah.
What are you concerned about?
Oh, right. I'm pretty tough, aren't I?
You're pretty fucking tough.
I'm not used to this.
Also,
okay.
I mean, I believe you've got at least one dagger, don't you? So you can, or javelin or spear or something like that. Like you can throw that shit.
Weapons: spear, axe, and my bite.
Spear has one important delivery vector, and that is doing that.
Right, I can chuck it. Okay. Yeah, okay, never mind then. So I will move up half my movement.
Okay.
Is it halved again because of the entangling vines and stuff?
So once you get to the vines, you need to make a... I think it's a dexterity save initially.
I can only move this far anyway and still attack.
Yeah, there's no penalty for moving through it, so long as you don't make the... as long as you make the dex save.
Okay. So, yeah, this is as far as I can go anyway.
Okay.
And I will, yeah, I guess
The ones
I'll
with
try
the dots are the ones that were not bound last time.
Oh, okay. So I'll try to hit the one that's bound because he's going to be probably a little bit more distracted.
Go ahead and make your attack.
Hit. I guess I could just try to...
Nat 1!
Great.
Oh, no!
Oh, no.
Well, we get to see
we
what
did say we wanted criticals, right?
Andrew, give us a D20 roll, please.
Can do.
Let's see, a 10.
Middle of the road. Don't know how this is going to go.
Somehow you manage to, maybe because you tried to get on the edge and one of the writhing vines go up, strike eye, you were blind in that eye.
Great.
Mormo, one eye, has managed to somehow fumble things. Voxot, Sootfoot, you're up next. What are you doing?
Voxot's gonna charge in. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20.
They're
25.
down. Anything with an X through it is something you can. Okay.
And so I don't know what is it, pulling a weapon or
Drawing a weapon is fine, free.
okay. Then he's going to he pulls his light flail as he starts running forward.
Let's go ahead. And that
Plus whatever bonuses we're getting from.
yes, 12.
If you stood a square across, you'd get a flank bonus as well. But
Yeah, you'd be flanking the side, get another +1.
I think he wasn't.
Yeah, so
Thinking
that
tech,
is
but-
unfortunately not quite good enough. You go racing now. Remember, you got luck. You could spend luck.
Luck. Need to reroll. 2 points to reroll.
Not to re-roll. You modify the roll. You spend on a 1-for-1 basis to modify the result.
And I probably didn't miss by much. So sure.
Okay, so let's now if I can tell you what, because we didn't bring over the numbers.
Oh, I
Yeah.
had 5.
So Trin, Gerg and Trin both have 6. Voxot has 5, and Mormo and Zirg. Mormo's got 7, Zirg's got 6.
Right, yeah, forgot to...
Where are you guys? Where are you guys? Oop, I'm missing you. There we go. Here we go.
Do I know how many points I have to spend?
Yeah. You need to spend. So to get a hit with your modifier from the chanting, you would need 3 luck to hit.
Sure.
Okay. Then go ahead and roll damage. You're going to get +2 to damage from the charge, +1 from Mormo's singing.
And here's a clobbering.
Yeah, this thing just crushes its skull. Ugh! You guys may notice that you have expert for the things. Expert is the masterwork, this version of masterwork, and it's like we have in a lot of our house rules. Expert can be +1 to hit, it can be +1 to damage, or it can be +1 to hit and damage, just non-magical.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you stand there.
Nice. All right, then it is the archer's turn. Archers. Let's see here. The 2 that are free will. They're going to take -2 to hit. They're going to try and shoot Mormo. Mormo, I've tricked you. I tricked you into coming out of cover.
Oh, no!
And blinding yourself.
Yeah, no kidding.
What is Mormo's AC?
Mormo's AC.
It's like a 15, isn't it?
Crap. Where is it? I can't find it.
Here.
Oh.
Well, let's see. I can look it up here.
about halfway down.
AC
halfway
is 15 with his battle die.
Yeah, it's just under their armor.
Okay, so
under
2
armor
shots
right
from
there.
this one. I need a 15 to hit you because I'm just going to take the penalty. 1 hits. Phew. Mormo, you take. Let's see here. That is 3 points of damage. Schwuck. And then for the others, you guys have dropped all. That one is going to take 1 shot at each of you guys. To Trin, there's like good luck hitting you, but let's see here. 4 is not going to do it. And then against Voxot, nat 20. Dave, give us a give us a D20 roll. Now, one of the things I will mention, you guys can spend your luck on my rolls as well.
Kev,
Yeah.
Oh.
I knew that guy had an arrow, and I'm a monk.
Yeah.
Can I try to deflect it even though
Fuck
it's an
yes,
X1?
you can.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Deflect. Oh, what it is? It's so he's. They have 2 hit dice. So and Dex is your one of your primary stats, right?
Yeah, dex check to deflect a range attack that would hit you.
Okay, so let's see here. So you do get to add your level to this. Your Dex is a secondary, not primary. So 13 is your starting the challenge base. Plus his difficulty is 2 is 15 plus. So give us a 1d20 plus 3, and your target number is going to be a 13. You can spend luck on this as well too. What does it look like, Foxhunt?
I think the Gnoll is like got a real good beat on me because I just finished fighting and I was like screaming, and he like shoots right for my head, and at the last second, Foxhunt just spins and knocks it away just enough that it like misses his head.
Nice. Gets on the ground. The Gnoll can barely believe it. Now, let's see here. I need to make... these are strength saves for the Gnolls. To try and get... Okay, so that archer... Both of the archers are now completely entangled. And I'll need to make saves. So this is for the remaining caster. Also trapped still. And then 1, 2 other archers. First archer, nat 20. Freeze themselves, and I'm going to run out over here. And then the other one, let's see, whoops, wrong button. Can it get itself out? Nope. Still stuck in the entangling roots. Excellent use of that spell. All right, then it is the caster. He's trapped. He can't do shit. Zirk. Oh, no, we're top of the round. That's the end of the round, guys.
Top of the round, yeah.
Okay, so remove all turns. There we go. Now, anyone doing anything that is going to affect initiative? Casting spells, charging, taking defensive actions. This thing, if it can free itself, is going to try and cast a spell. And actually, Mormo, why don't we do this? Since you know that this thing is going to... Oh, no, Andrew's not frozen. Andrew, let's see here. Zirk's intelligence is... primary thing, and you get a pretty decent bonus to it. Your difficulty, so I'm looking at your CB, is an 8 with intelligence. The thing, the robed figure is 2 hit dice, so that means the challenge level is 2. Your total difficulty is going to be a 10. Would you give us 1d20 plus 3 against target number of 10? You can see if he frees himself, that caster is going to be casting sleep.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Otherwise, once you, if no one else is doing anything of interest, let's hear add a turn.
I love that he changed his name.
What's that?
Now Momo One Eye.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, Gerg's going to be charging. Oh, that's the only thing.
Are we charging? Okay.
Yeah, because he's quite
Solomon
far away
also
from...
pointed out in the chat quite rightly that if Ice King somewhere will be happy when he watches this episode because we finally got a magic missile in this game.
Very true. Oh man.
Right, initiative.
Okay. So then,
and Zurg. I have no idea what Zerk's going to do this turn because. Oof.
Okay. 3, 4.
Apparently, I have some time to make that in my mind up, though.
All right, guys. So first up is the caster. So he needs to make a successful save in order to get out of this. He does.
Mormo knows what's happening, but I can't do anything about it.
So that means he is able to get that sleep spell off. So let's see how sleep works.
Not going to help him. There's still too many of us.
Okay. All creatures within the range and area. So I'm casting it over where Zirk and Trin are. Those capable of sleep will fall into a comatose slumber, with the weak ones being felled prior to the strong ones. Spell's area effect is 30-foot diameter, so I think I only affect Trin or Zirk. It affects 2d4 hit dice worth of creatures. So, let's see, and there's no save against it, just as there is in most versions of AD&D. Okay, so 2d4. So what I need to roll is a 3 to be able to affect Zirk, and then I need to roll an 8 to affect both Zirk and Trin. So Zirk, you are asleep this round. Duration is 2 minutes. Sleeping creatures are helpless. Slapping or wounding will awaken creatures, but normal noise does not.
Question for you then.
Yeah.
The protection from arrows is not a concentration spell.
Nope, still active.
So it's still active? Okay,
Yep.
cool.
So you just fall asleep. And you can feel, I think, a wave, Trin. There's a wave of exhaustion that hits you as that spell goes off. So Zirk will snooze this round. It's so cute because he's like, his little tail's wagging as he's asleep.
Still a time and a place, and this is not the time or the place.
Gerg, what are you doing?
Oh, got some low initiatives. Right, yeah, he's gonna run. So he's got to make a dexterity check if he runs in there.
That's right, yeah.
But he's still gonna do it.
Okay, so then the save will be a 3. Where are you here, Gerg? Dex is one of your secondary things, so 16 plus... So DC 16, you're going to add 1d20 plus 4.
I'll just do it over here, I think. 20 plus 4.
Come on, big... Oh, nat 20! Beautiful! So you go racing through these writhing vines, easily able to get up to the guy. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Yeah, he's seen that magic, and he's just ripping through these vines as they sort of go around his legs, and the sharp metal sort of cutting it and slicing it as he runs, and he's just gonna rip into this guy.
Yep, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. I don't think it's possible for you to not kill this guy. So he looks at you with hate. He knows what's coming as it's going off, and he just and gets cut down. All right, then it is Trin.
Okay, he's gonna loose off a shot of this archer.
Okay.
Who was standing next to that caster.
Okay. That's a miss. You want to spend luck? You only need 2 luck to hit.
No, he thinks Gerg's got it, so he's gonna save it.
All right, then it is Voxot.
Voxot turns and steps towards the archer.
Okay.
And, well, actually, he's got enough movement to try and get behind him. Is he facing Mormo to try and...
I think that's probably right. So if you want to back, that's probably the back.
I'm going to back attack him from right there.
Okay. Yeah! So +2 to hit.
Is that including my chanting?
+3 to hit in total. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. 5 plus 2, plus 1 from the thing is 6 in total. Look at that. Boom. Yeah.
And then Voxot goes, fight me!
All right, this thing. Let's see here. It is. So I don't remember seeing anything about like preventing from using range attacks in melee in the game. There is a firing into melee chance of hitting allies in the game. But I think what he'll do is he'll just drop the bow, draw a sword, and try and hit you. It's happy to try and do that. Now, Voxot, your AC is a 14, I think?
14.
14, okay. I hit.
2 from armor and...
Okay. Voxot, you take 4 points of damage. Yeah! This thing lashes out with your sword. I fight you! Mormo, what are you doing?
Seeing that the one over here is looking like he's taken care of, Mormo's gonna take the risk and run into the vines to try to get at this guy.
Okay. Let's see here. Mormo, your...
I didn't declare I was gonna charge like an idiot. So
no, but you don't need to though, do you?
No, because I can make the distance here.
Yep.
I thought ideally, though, what I should have done is tried to charge into here, and then I could take care of both of them. But
oh yeah, because you cleave, yeah. I mean, we're learning here, right? So
no, it's fine.
So I'm fine with you doing that if you'd like. Oh, because it'd be cool to see your cleave attack.
Okay.
Go off if you can.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, we need to see if you make your successful.
If I drop a foe in combat, so
yeah. Well, we also need to see if you make your save as well. So
true.
Your save is going to be against. Let's see. Your difficulty will be a 16 because Dex is a secondary thing for you. Give a 1d20 plus 3. Yeah. That's not within 6. So you get in and you. Damn you, Voxot!
So, I guess I don't move my full movement then, or
no, you only get to about there, and you're getting caught up in.
Is this distracting enough that I can no longer? Can I keep chanting?
Of course,
or...
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If anything, I mean, your Skaldic battle chanting is just the more infuriated you are, the better.
Oh, it's getting that's fair. Yeah. It's getting louder. Because other than that, Mormo's not really having a good day. It's not doing much to help.
All right, so let's clear
the vines.
Guys, we are done the turn. So next round, casters are all dead. I only have one type of gnoll left here. Anyone doing anything that will affect initiative order? No charging, no defensive maneuvers, no spellcasting. Zirk does not need to roll initiative this round because he's sleeping.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I don't get to take another save, eh? It's just
it's just someone can wake you up, but
no, that's fair. That checks out with my magic missile attack and everything else.
Yeah, I mean that's how sleep's worked since forever. So.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah, sleep has always sort of been that way.
Okay, so Morma.
Okay.
When do we check for the vines, Kev? Was it at the end of the turn or the beginning of the turn?
The end of the turn. Well, if you're moving through it, you'll trigger your save. If you are not affected by it, you get to make your whole turn. Then you make a strength save.
Right.
Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got everybody. Okay, so then looks like Voxot, you're up first.
Voxot is gonna look like he's winding up to. And he goes, taste my flail, but then swoop, hits him with an unarmed strike.
Nice. Okay. Yes, solid hit. Poof. Go ahead and roll damage. Yeah, what does it look like as your unarmed strike takes this one down?
I think it's like the gnoll's face looks to Voxot's right hand where the flail is, and he's preparing to defend, and then left hook just hits him right in the jaw and just cracks his neck and he falls down.
All right, Voxot, you could move half your move if you like to.
No. Then what were they armed with?
A sword, like a long sword.
Oh, they didn't have spears like in the picture.
The other ones had spears, yeah.
Okay, then he'll move right over here.
Yep.
And yeah, he's going to try and pick up a spear.
Okay. Then Mormo.
That'll be next round. Pick a spear.
So Mormo, let's make a strength save to try and get yourself free here. Now let's see here. Oh no, you repeat. You have to make a dex save first.
Right.
So dex is so it's the same thing. I think it's a 16 you're rolling against, and a 1d20 plus 3.
Is that including my chanting?
Oh, hey, Chandler, go to that too. +1. Yeah, no, it isn't.
I didn't even realize
so
that last
+4.
time because it's plus attributes.
Yep. Yep.
Should have been okay. Cool. 16. Come on.
Come on.
No. Nope. I'm
See,
getting angry.
Trying to get yourself
Getting
free of this
angry.
stuff. Okay, then it is the Acha's turn. I got 1, 2, 3 archers left living. Let's see if anyone's acting this round. How about I roll a 1d20 +2 instead of 2d4 for their save. First one makes it. So the first one is okay. Gurg.
Gurg right there.
I think Gurg, you can make your attack on this one now. It's just going to try and run out of the stuff here. So this.
I'll do it straight away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's gonna try and swing as him as he tries to escape.
Yep. Little bit of a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay, so it doesn't even get far. They pull themselves free. They're about to try and get away, and just a sweep. You cut through vine and flesh and armor, all in one clean blow. The one near Mormo fails. The one closer to Mormo also nat 1. I think that its bow is wrenched out of its arms by the writhing vines. Trin, you're up next. What are you doing?
What's his bow range? 60 foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Can you move and shoot in this game?
Yep.
Like, move closer to the edge of the vine?
Yeah, I'm just going to move half. That's outside the vines, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm just going to take a shot of this archer down.
That's a disarmed one, too. That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. +1 damage from the thing, so 7 points of damage. Are we missing anything else?
I'm outside of 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no, I haven't got no bonuses.
So this, you can tell this is a lethal shot. It leans kind of over. You think you punctured a lung with that shot. Then it is, so Gurg, you made your attack, but you can try and move if you like.
Oh yeah, because it's his turn now. Yeah, he's going to try to move to there.
Okay.
Does he need to make another check?
He does. So when you're not entangled, but you're moving through it, you need a strength check. But the upside is strength is one of your favored or your primary stats. So it's 7 + 3 is a 10. 1d20 +4 against a DC 10.
Yeah. Oh, still failed it.
Yeah, nat 1 is always a nat fail. So I think the act of taking the other one down, you can see.
It's got caught up. Yeah, I'll just stay where he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and that's the end of the round, guys.
Does that trigger a critical?
Oh, a fumble? No, because that was a save, not a attack.
Oh, right. It's only on.
It's a strength to break free if you're entangled, but if you move through it, it's a dex.
Oh, okay. So I'm doing it wrong. I thought it was strength. Okay, so then.
Oh,
yeah, I mean
that's yeah. It's still nat 1's and nat 1, but that's good to know though. I was getting them backwards.
Well, it's good to know for me because then I'm much better at strength.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, that is the end of that round. I need to start tracking rounds so I can say what round it is. Next round. Anybody doing anything that will affect the initiative?
Don't think so. But I don't know if what I was thinking of doing is capable in one round. So
what are you thinking?
Dropping my flail, picking up a spear, and then turning and throwing it.
I think flail is only one-handed. The spear is only one-handed. You can scoop it up with one hand and throw it.
Okay.
Let's just have you not move for the round is all. That'll just be your move.
Yeah.
Okay. And that won't affect initiative whatsoever. No one else is, then I'll just... Yeah, and then we'll do exactly as you're going. Unless you're doing something that modifies your initiative, just go ahead and roll initiative. Let's see here.
Going late.
There we go.
Look at all the ones.
Yeah. And we're missing Mormo.
Sorry, I completely... Yep, there we go.
No, you're effectively role-playing Zirk. More ones, you guys. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All right, so I got 2 saves for these things. This will be strength save, but for them, it's the same thing. Nope. The one closest to Mormo, the injured one. The injured one is free, but unfortunately has no bow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one's raced out of the area of the thing and draws its sword.
My familiar has arrived.
Uh-oh. There you go. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Voxite, you got a snowy owl as a familiar, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it is Trin. What are you doing, Trin? See that one you shot, managed to free herself from the thing and has run outside the...
Yeah, I don't want no one getting away, so he's gonna... if he moves on top of that body, that's still outside.
Yep.
I assume. So he's just going to take a shot at that one that's trying to sort of
go right ahead,
scramble away.
That is with the chanting. A 14 is a hit. So go ahead and roll damage. Yeah. Hits and falls down dead. All right, Mormo. Now, it's not organizing things by dex. Voxot, I think. What is your dex? I think you might have the highest.
My dex?
Yeah.
It's 13.
13. Mormo, what's your dex?
13.
And Gerg, what's your dex?
13.
13.
You guys, you fucking with me or?
No,
I've got
it doesn't the character sheet.
Yeah, I know. All right, so Mormo, you're up first. What are you doing?
Actually, Zirg's is as well. How did this work out?
It is sorting it by dex. It's just
it looks like
realize.
Okay, so then Mormo, we need a strength
to get out of
to
this,
get out
right?
of here. So Mormo, strength
So
is
I
a
have
favored
+2.
Primary stat. So 8 plus 3 is 11. 1d20 plus 3 against DC 11, please.
+4 including my chanting.
+4 including your chanting. Correct. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
There you go. You can take your full action. What do you want to do?
Oh, I am mad. I'm gonna break this guy's this one's face.
Okay.
With my bearded axe.
Okay.
Because that sounds cool.
Now one.
No. Oh my god. This is the second time in a row he's tried to attack.
Like, Andrew, I know we said that it doesn't matter these characters because it's a war story. That if the characters die, it's okay. But I
don't need to be trying to maim him and kill him in the first session.
No, I didn't intend that to be self-inflicted.
You want to make it till 11 o'clock at least, or close, right?
All right,
You're gonna have to use hero points to survive your own attacks.
Yeah. Now, actually, it's a good point. You see what the result is here. Remember, here's what you can use hero points for, guys.
Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, down but not out. I may have to. Okay.
Well, you could use Fortune's Fool. Spend one hero point to re-roll a die. But let's see what the result is first.
I can wait to do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us a 1d20 roll.
All right.
11. Blow ricochets and smashes helm. Helm driven into skull. Temporarily blind.
I mean, hold on. He's only got one eye to begin with.
Yeah, you brained yourself with your bearded
one
axe.
eye is like cut and bleeding down his snout. Now his helmet crashes into the other eye.
Now, so Mormo doesn't actually wear a helm because he wears his battle paint. So it would just be a matter of like it, maybe like
concussed essentially.
Yeah, the vines or something like that go off, and you clark yourself in the head with your axe. You could spend one hero point and re-roll that attack roll altogether.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's try to have some. Let's do that. Hero points of the green.
Hero points of the green. Yeah, they don't refresh us. Your luck points refresh at the start of each session. The hero points refresh with like end of adventure type stuff.
Okay. Well, we'll. So that's a big cost. But this is ridiculous.
Blindness is pretty bad as well.
Blindness is he did say temporary, but we didn't say how long.
Temporary.
Yeah.
And I'd like Mormo to not just be literally standing here blinding himself,
screaming
over
out.
and over and over. So let's try this again.
Okay, so here we go. Attack with bearded axe.
1d20 plus 4.
Oh, no, you already did the same. Just make your attack with your bearded axe.
Yep. I'm getting all turned around now.
That is okay.
Bearded axe.
I blame the entangle. There you go.
Still
So
not
that's
great, but
it's a better attack with +1. So unfortunately, it is a miss, but it's not. At least you're not hitting yourself. So I think Mormo should count that as progress. So, and I'm picturing it's more than that of the grasping vines are just like making every step a total pain in the ass. He's like, ah!
Oh, sure. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Vox up, Sootfoot, what are you doing?
Can I end a spell? Or does it just, the duration goes to the duration?
I think so. Let's take a look here. I think so. Let's see here. Duration. Let's see. I'm looking at the player's handbook on 114. A character can typically dismiss personal spells at will before the duration ends, or if the spell description so states. So if you want to dismiss the entangling, you can.
And that'll be my action?
No, it just means that you're... I don't know, let me think here. No, I think it's an incidental. So, like, it'll be... You could do that and take a regular action anyway.
Okay. He'll do that, and he's going to... I'll forget the spear idea, because that's too complicated, and now I would possibly hit Mormo.
Okay.
So I'm just going to...
Okay, so that'd be a flank.
He's definitely got enough problems here.
So you get +1 to hit because it's flanking, and +1 to hit, so +2 to hit total because of Mormo's... chanting. Go ahead and make your attack roll. With the +2. Oh, that's a miss. Now you missed by 3. You could spend... you only got 2 luck left. So you race in.
No, I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Because this guy is like almost surrounded, and I'm pretty sure that Gurg will finish him off.
Yep. All right, Gurg. Now you are entangled right now.
No, it just ended.
Oh yeah, it's just ended. Right. So these all the vines drop away. Gurg, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna rush up behind this guy.
That's a back strike, so +2 to hit.
Okay.
Swing. Yep, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Oh my.
Jeez.
So an upward sweeping motion. You hack this thing actually up because it freezes, drops free from the entangling, and it's kind of like getting ready to try and step back and take a shot at one of the others. You come up behind and just lift it up as you skewer through with your two-handed bastard sword and cast it down to the ground. You guys look around. It appears none of your enemies are still standing. And while there may be some tension between the warrior priest, the service of Tempest, Lord of Battle, and a sneaky, deceptive rogue, the rogue's plan worked pretty well. So, guys, why don't we take our mid-session break there? And then while we're gone too, can someone go and wake up Zirg?
Yeah, Trin's over there already.
Slap him in the face or something.
He'll kick him. He'll make it, Yeah.
So we'll be back.
Make sure it's a kick.
What do you want? What? Oh, it happened again.
All right. I'll wait for the guys. I will gnolls calculate XP for these guys. So 1, 2, 3, there's 5, 9. Gnolls is 2 times 8 is 16 to 26. I was doing the quick math to add for your gnolls you face.
I think Bucksot, although he's a bit of a savage fighter and savage monk and druid, I think he's also a practical joker. And he would take this opportunity to like, no wake Zerg. We pile Zerg under bodies. Ha ha ha.
Let's see here.
Boyfriend.
Well, he also, I think like you can see what his actual his secondary skill is basically a performer. So he's kind of like a pratfaller, joker, juggler kind of stuff. So that totally fits with his secondary skill.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so
I'm enjoying this way too much.
oh, that's awesome. Okay, 5.
And the system's pretty fun too.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's, as I was hoping, like very light on its feet, but feels pretty.
But the combat maneuvers kind of gives it like a 3rd edition-ish kind of, like it's got some cool stuff you can do.
Yep.
Yeah, but simple enough that it's not like a big complex.
No, you're not getting bogged down in a lot of math for it too. I think that it feels in the old school spirit. It also feels pretty. What do you call it? Like more imaginative than just trying to like. There's not a clear tactical option, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just finding the.
I'm gonna go get my tea.
3, 5. Okay, so I'm just calculating your XP for this because you actually get XP per hit point for the adversaries as well.
Oh.
And that is... It's like AD&D First Edition did that. They dumped it for second.
It's quite an easy... I mean, is that all of it, or you have extra...
You get there's a base plus you get XP per hit point, and then for special abilities there's extra, depending on what it is, there's extra XP that gets tacked on. Like because they're spellcasters, you're basically getting it's very easy to figure out what the XP cost would be for them because they've got some minor spellcasting abilities in addition to being.
That seems quite straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's neat too because like in the same way that we use the siege system for you guys, their saves, their checks, contested rolls and stuff like that. Like one thing, there is no contested rolls in C&C. There's just it's always the focus on the characters. So if you were like say trying to wrestle, with a or like do an arm wrestling contest with the gnolls, it'd be easy for me to figure out what it would be. If it's a primary stat, if it's a primary stat, it just counts as 6 higher. So that's also factored into the starting difficulty. The challenge base that you guys have for each of your stats. So there's just, I think, some very clever math behind the scenes in it that makes it very easy to gamify, a lot of different aspects without having to set down a bunch of codified rules. That's what I really like about PF2 and I really like about Starfinder. It's very easy to improvise stuff and still like be playing a game. Okay, so
who controls Zerg?
Andrew does.
So Andrew, I was thinking about my character in the break, and I think Luxot, while he's a bit of a primal savage, druid, monk, whatever, he's also a bit of a practical joker. And so as we're walking over to wake Zerg, he's like, no, we maybe we pile bodies on Zerg. You wake up, think he's dead. Or maybe we all sit in circle and eat and drink, and he wake up while we eat and drink. We ask him we have nice sleep.
Love it. Love it.
Or,
also loving this Russian Arnold Schwarzenegger vibe I'm getting from him now. That's awesome.
I'm trying to do a voice that's not going to be true. It's not working. It's still gonna be
Okay,
hard.
so whoever spent luck, make sure you make note of that, and whoever spent hero points, make note of that. That I can't track between different things, so we're just going to change maps here. I think Voxot might be the only one who spent luck.
I spent a hero point, but
Yeah, I'm down to 2.
Yeah,
Is it nowhere on the character sheet, is there?
no, there's not, because it's those are optional rules or variant rules. Okay, so let's go over to here again, guys. Just
So, Mormo's got injuries. Like, has he actually got hit point damage?
yeah, he's actually got hit point damage now.
Okay.
So does Mormo does, and so does Voxot.
Me use healing wind.
You can use healing wind. You also have something called first aid.
Me use medical kit.
There is, well, actually, yeah, you have a couple different ways to approach this. There are bandages you can apply. Bandages will heal, I think it's 1d2 per bandage you apply, and then you can make a wisdom's check to try and increase that by 1, so it could heal up to 3. You also have a 0-level spell called First Aid. First Aid not only stabilizes and ends any wounds, First Aid also heals 1d2 points of damage. You got a couple of options there.
Who else was able to cast Endure Elements?
Gurg.
I can do it, yeah. Gurg.
So, how many does Gurg take? And are we all have Endure Elements on us?
No, Gurg, Endure Elements is only, it's a 0-level spell, and it only affects one person.
Only affects self? Okay.
Yeah.
So then I wouldn't have taken 2 of them knowing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I've got a first aid, and I can convert all my level 1s and 2s into healing, right?
Yes. Yep.
And nobody's that badly wounded, though?
Mormo's down by 3, and Voxot's down by 4. Natural
And I
healing
can't
is
tell.
1 point.
And that injury to his eye, that's not a repairable...
No, you would need like a restoration or something like that to be able to restore that eye.
I think Voxot walks over
Mormo's,
to,
look what they did to me! Oh my god.
Voxot goes over to Mormo and goes, your eye ugly. I can't fix it. But I can heal you. So I just rolled dice then, I guess, because there's no buttons or...
What are you thinking of using?
I'll use a 0-level first aid on Mormo.
That's 1d2 then.
What is it for level 1?
Level 1 is 1d8. Healing Wind heals 1d8. And Cure Light Wounds for a Druid is level 2. That also heals 1d8.
And then bandages.
Bandages automatically, if you use up one bandage, it does 1d... hold on, actually, First Aid kits...
Medical kit's 2d2, it says.
Oh, yeah, so if you're using a
Plus
medical
1.
kit, it's better.
Plus
Yeah.
on a successful check.
Yeah.
So
Maybe I'll
what it
try
says.
using my check then.
the bandage?
Well, it says medical kit for the +1 on a successful check.
Yeah, so why don't you give us a... Let's see here. So Wisdom... where are you here? Voxot. There you are. Wisdom is... it's a primary stat for you, too. So that'd be 8. We'll set the challenge level at 1. So it's a 9. So it'll be 1d20 plus 3 against a 9.
Okay, and this will be my check for healing?
Yeah, this will be your healing check. There you go. So just barely, but that's success. So then you can roll 2d2 plus 1. That's how much you restore. Nice. Oh. So Mormo, you are fully healed.
And that's one bandage being used?
That is one bandage and one poultice. You can clean the bandage afterwards, but so dressing. So one of the dressings is used up. The bandage is being used, but you can clean the bandage and reuse it.
Okay.
It's just, if you don't have a dressing, I think it's less effective. It heals only 1 automatically.
Okay. Then I'll do the same on myself then.
Okay. So give us a wisdom check. Nice. Yep. So 2d2 plus 1. 3 back for you.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Keep the spells for when we really need it.
Yeah. So as you guys are going through and, you're getting your... Oh, and Vox, I think you're down to 2 luck right now, right?
More, 1 eye.
Okay. So as you... With all of your enemies dead... this, unless they're sending more people after you, which does sound like you can hear howling in the distance, this may be the, you've taken care of the pursuers that were immediately following you. You are, however, currently lost. Now, there's a couple things that you guys have access to through your abilities. All of you guys get a +2. I'm just going to adjust your luck there, Mormo. Or Mormo, Voxot. There are, let's see here, I think Mormo and Voxot, I believe, each of you guys can track. Oh, and Trin, you got Bloodhound, so you can track, right, with Scent. So what this means, for Scent, you could follow back where these guys came from. That's one option for you. Another option is to try and continue traveling, to try and get to the destination you're getting to. You've got a lot of people who are trained in both Voxot with his nature lore, or whatever the primal druid ability is, and Mormo with his deerstalker abilities. You guys have some good chances of not getting lost here. Unlike the AD&D, it is related to your actual levels. So the better you get, the higher level you are, the more likely you are to succeed. In addition, whether it's a primary stat for you, that also has a factor on your chance of success. So you could try and make more distance towards distance towards where your destination is, or you could try and pick up the trail of one of the other members of your tribe and hope that you could find them. So I guess your options, and if you guys have other options you think you could try, you're welcome to do that. But follow the trail back and follow that scent back to wherever these guys came from. Try to continue navigating on towards where the where your allies will be, or wander around and try and find where they are. Now, Dave, I know you're asking, but Kev, hold on. Is there weather rules in this? Because I love some weather rules. Well, that's a good question, Dave. There actually are some pretty interesting weather rules in here. And Dave, why don't you give us a D20 roll?
20. Oh, that's easy. I won't roll a 20 on this.
No! You take the man out of the bad weather system, but you can't take the bad weather system out of the man. With a 17, guys, you can tell, and I think those of you don't need to make a roll for it. Voxot and Mormo, because of just your nature, ways and whatnot. I think Trin's got something similar. There is a really bad storm coming on. Visibility is about to be reduced. We're talking full-on storm, snow, minimum 6+ inches of snow. Visibility is reduced by half. So what do you guys, that's another thing to weigh in, I guess, is do you want to try and take shelter? What do you guys think? And I guess the last thing I'll say, just like you, your pursuers have that, benefit for tracking by scent, and they may have hunters within them as well. So they may not have given up the chase. I'll stop talking and let you guys talk now.
It's going to make it difficult for us to, we may be able to track them, but the storm is going to make that challenging. But
Yep.
that goes both ways. It's going to make it, presumably, it might give us the opportunity to make some distance if that's what we want to do.
Yep.
Mormo sits there going, I want to get them, but I can't see. He's just gonna.
Smells like snow.
I mean, I've also got an option where I could put endure elements on everybody.
The spell preparation in this is like it is in AD&D, where like if you've got one listed on your sheet, that's only one you've got that has been prepared.
I thought the clerics are different. I thought it was a list.
No. Unless I got that wrong. Let me double check.
I thought they just had like, a list of spells and they just.
So where the freedom is, you do have a list of spells and you can prepare any of the spells per day. You're not restricted that way, but once you prep them, you are stuck with which ones you've got. The advantage that Voxot's got is he has an advantage, like a special ability that allows him to swap out a first level spell and a second level spell for any of his prepped spells.
That sounds like a 3rd edition kind of thing, yeah?
It is. Like I said, they draw from a lot of different things.
And Endure Elements is personal, so we can't cast it on other people, apparently.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So, I'm assuming, like those of you who are not other than Gurg and Voxot, I'm assuming you're dressed for the weather. Like this is you're tundra gnolls. Like you would know what the weather and the expectations would be like to be traveling over land. So you don't need to think that or worry that you are you're going to be exposed to cold for it. The only benefit is that Gurg wearing all that fucking metal armor and Voxot wearing almost nothing to keep his mobility up, that they don't need to worry about the weather whatsoever.
We find shelter.
So what about we head back using your tracking skills, head towards where we're going, but look for shelter on the way, and as soon as we find a suitable sort of cave or something, take shelter.
Is there a cave?
Is there a cave? Now, I'm just going to double check.
I'm going to watch 13th Warrior again.
I rewatched it again within the last month or so. Because again, someone made a joke about it. I'm like, oh.
Maybe we could redo 13th Warrior with gnolls. That would be awesome.
A primal druid always succeeds in finding basic shelter and enough food for individual daily sustenance. If you wish to support additional people, they must spend 6 hours hunting and gathering to get food. If the primal wishes to feed or shelter a group larger... So it'll take you 6 hours, but you can definitely find something that would easily accommodate all of you guys. Foxhot.
Yeah. Do we have 6 hours before the weather hits?
Good question. Let's do this.
It's going to take, up to 6 hours, and the weather's going to hit in 4.
Why don't you give us, Dave? Give us a D. We'll make it on yours. Give us a D6 roll and a D12 roll.
D6 and a D12?
Yep. The D6 is how long it takes you to find shelter. The D12 is how long until the bad weather hits. Only 2 hours, so don't roll a 1. There you go. So if that is the course of action, guys.
Okay,
Anything else you wish to do before you guys set back out dragging this thing? I think it's the two biggest guys, Mormo and Gurg. You're the ones who are dragging this thing along.
Do the gnolls have anything of value on them? Do we scavenge them?
If you want to refresh any arrows, there are bows on them. They've got spears. Let me double check the treasure rules here.
Maybe there's trinkets on the wizards.
Yeah, it could be. Oh, yeah, actually there would be. I think there's a really good chance of that. Okay, treasure is a 1. I like that the Monsters and Treasures, this is the newest version of the Monsters and Treasures book, has both of those in the same book. So if I want to go to the treasure table, it's in here.
I think Buxut calls Blizzard down, the owl, and he tells him to go hunt.
That's the name of your bird?
Yeah, I need more rabbit poems. Go hunt.
Takes off into the sky. I gave Dave the advantage to swap out his spells, but I was saying that if I hadn't had that one, a very close second one was to take a second familiar advantage so that Voxut would have a polar bear familiar.
That would have been cool.
It would be pretty cool.
This is pretty nice.
Okay, so let's see here. Whose idea was it that the wizards might have stuff on them?
That might have been me.
Okay, so give us 2 percentile rolls, please.
You sure you want me to roll in percentiles?
You know, while I'm here too. Okay, no and no. All right, so they have nothing. I mean, there is. Well, actually, this is worth XP, so we should roll it. Why don't you guys each give us a 2d4 roll, please? That's interesting too. They don't break it down by all the different coins. It just gives you the coinage value in GP. Okay, so 7, 8, and 2. Okay.
Marble, you're looking in the wrong places.
All right, so we'll total that up. That is.
No, I am blind.
10, 17.
Oh yes, Ice King, you missed a magic missile. You'll have to go back and watch the first half.
17 times 3 times 10. All right, guys. So you actually, between all of them, you managed to find 170 gold coins worth of treasure. And then let's see if they have any extraordinary. Why don't you each give us a percentile roll, please? There's a chance of, the expert or masterwork weapons. There's a chance that you might find that stuff on them even if you don't find magic items. So one more. Who am I missing on percentile? Dave. Foxot, need a percentile roll, please. Ooh.
79 was the percentile.
79 was. That was Trin.
Oh.
Yeah, yours has. Yours hasn't showed up yet.
Oh. Odd.
57. Okay. All right. So other than that, I mean, it's just they're none of their spears are a particular value. None of their armor is. There is. Zirk. I think you could for sure. One of those guys has a spellbook that has sleep in it.
Oh, yeah. I think Zirk would love to be able to throw that back at them.
Yeah. Because I'm not sure. I didn't bother to put your spellbook together. But and you know what? Is it in here? Yeah. I think I've got sample spellbooks. So I can tell you what other stuff is in there. Yeah, it is nice. Excuse me. In the new adventure spellbook, they gave us sample spellbooks. So this one has. I'm trying to find one that's got sleep in it. Ooh. So this thing is an ugly book, poorly bound by cheap leather and filled with thick, rough-cut pages. It's probably human-made. But what it contains is, for first-level spells, it has Charm Person, Erase, and Sleep. Second level has Dragon Bite and Hypnotic Patter. And third level, Explosive Runes and Secret Page.
Oh boy. Okay,
you can't cast those yet. I'll put them in here.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know, but so first level. Yep. Level has Charm Person, Erase.
How do we split the treasure, guys, for the gold? Just 3 ways, or do we give a share or half share to Zirk and?
You split it 5 ways, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is it 3 ways or 5 ways? Is that how you do it?
Oh, 5. I would say 5 because you're playing multiple characters, but
easier.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not like henchmen or something.
Yeah. Well, as I said, we so that's maybe
Oh, wait a minute. Evan.
Yeah.
On Zirk's character sheet, under first level spells, sleep is already listed there.
Oh, so you already have it. Nice.
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
Okay, here is.
That's funny.
What's inside? There you go. There's the spells that are available in this new spellbook.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Add these to
All right, so then, I guess let's take a. There's two things I want to talk about before we go on. So Trin, because it's Trin's war story, how do you think, or how do you foresee the relationship Trin has with these other characters at this stage? We know that at some point, bless you, we know that at some point Trin is going to be a bit of an outcast from his tribe for reasons that he feels are justified. But where does he fit in with the tribe at this point?
Well, he's definitely like a head sort of hunter or scavenger, or he's one of the main people they go to for wilderness survival and finding food and stuff like that. What is in this package that they've got on the sleigh? Would that
this
help
would be
to
many of the relics. So here's the other thing. And while when things fell apart and all the different tribes sort of turned on each other, it's not like your tribe was the one that was the innocent, like, oh no, everyone's hurting on us and we want to be like, no, you fucking stole stuff from a bunch of other people too.
Oh, yeah.
This is the booty sled.
Yeah, and that's also where he'd be a key figure, because he was responsible for collecting a fair few number of these items that are on the wagon.
Well, I want you guys, the other guys too. Like, these are not; they were obviously pre-gens you were playing, but like, take complete ownership of these guys. You can feel free to, if you've got insight into their personalities that may help Trin figure out how he feels about these characters now. You can feel free. I mean, Dave, you mentioned Voxot is a bit of a prankster.
So I'm just trying to understand, is the idea that we're coming from a raid and we've sort of stolen stuff, or are we taking valuables away from our sort of settlement?
No. You're all in service to you're trying to meet up with your tribe. What happened is, as the tribe sort of turned on each other and as everyone sort of spread to the five winds or whatever, what your tribe did was split off in the middle of bad weather with the intention of meeting up at a certain point and then trying to go on from there.
Okay.
The loot that you've got here is shit you stole from a variety of different tribes. But I mean, they were doing the same thing to you as well. Things got very, very bad in there. And you have not seen it as of yet, but you've heard as well that some of Tekeli Lee's minions survived, and they were not powerful enough to force all the other Gnoll tribes into subservience, but instead were turning and just kind of having a feast on people.
Okay, so I would see this as the leader of our tribe would have seen the opportunity, although everyone's sort of retreating and going off in their separate ways and regrouping. This would be an opportunity to strike at our biggest rival tribe.
Okay.
And potentially the richest of them.
Okay.
So he put together basically an A team of specialists to basically go in, hit this tribe, either the baggage, carriage of sorts, or if they were still sort of actually packing away things, hit them at their sort of tribe homeland, and then just take all the goods and meet up later. And he's probably got a B team and a C team doing similar things for other sort of tribes, and then we're going to meet up. Okay.
So do Voxot and Mormo both have very impressive survival skills as well too. They're quite capable in the wild. So your previous actions as a raider or whatnot, or a scavenger, you may have run with them as well. Gurg is much more of a straightforward, full like shock trooper warrior priest of the god of battle, Tempest. So it's unlikely that he ran unless there was some kind of familiar connection or other non-job related connection that Trin and Gurg had before. And Zirk, I have no idea. As a wizard cleric, he is incredibly gifted in magic, like in a way that is like maybe once in a generation would someone be able to master both of those two things. But, he may also be a bit of a weirdo if he's, that strange combination of magics. what I was also going to say, Andrew, is let you know what your healing staff is capable of. You only have 10 charges in it, so it doesn't have a huge amount of uses, and you're not powerful enough to be able to recharge. You can recharge staffs in C&C. You just need to be of a certain level in order to do that. But what your staff does is, let's see here. If you use it, there's a chance of you being teleported to another plane. And, oh, wait, no, that's your other character. Oh my! Here's what your healing staff can do. 1 charge to cast lesser restoration. That's usually like to get rid of a stun or some kind of like persisting effect. For 1 charge, you can also cure serious wounds, which can cure critical wounds, just like in our house rules.
Such as a cut eye. Like
a lost eye. For 2 charges, you can remove blindness or remove deafness. And for 3 charges, you can remove disease.
Wow.
So we have 10 left right now, but that is what you can choose to do with them.
I think Zirk's going to make Morma work for it. I feel like Zirk's a bit of an asshole.
Okay.
And or Morma, maybe Morma's the asshole, and Zirk is like, no, young whippersnapper, I'm gonna teach you a lesson in humility here.
Okay. So with that, what if Trin, Voxot, and Mormo are sort of like longtime companions? You guys, you sort of were thrown in together for this thing. Gurg and Zirk are the sort of outliers for the group. They were the ones who were put together for this team and have not traveled with these guys before.
Yeah, I see that.
So like Trin chose his A team, and he basically went to his 2 buddies that are all.
I don't think he chose it. I think it was chosen for him. He's like, Trin, you're taking these guys to hit this tribe, and Gurg's going to keep you alive if it goes wrong, and this Zerg guy, he could be useful for any sort of number of reasons, but he's probably too wacky to be in the tribe at the moment, so let's just get him out of the way. Just put him with the others. So they're all a bit of misfits. I see him as sort of really useful potentially, but also a bit of a pain to the leader of the tribes in various situations. So they're sort of expendable as well. So let's, they might come back with all sorts of treasures, or they might get themselves killed. Either way, he's going to be happy potentially.
So that sounds about right.
Kev, can we make up like whatever our 34 gold piece and treasure that we're each going to get, and just make stuff up that this wooden box with string? So
like there's encumbrance it rules in the game, but it's really it's quasi abstracted. You have something called EV, the encumbrance value of different gear. I haven't bothered to keep track of it because either your characters are just too strong to bother worrying about that stuff, or you're just not carrying so much. If Gurg also had like a bunch of other weapons and a shield, then we might want to take a quick look and see where his EV is. But with coins, I think it's 16 coins make up 1 EV, if I remember. Or maybe 16 coins make up 1 pound. In any event. But yeah, what you've recovered from these guys, you can make it up. I'm fine with whatever. Okay. So, that gives us an idea of what everyone's sort of relationship is and where you guys wish to be going today to try and find that shelter. It means you're not getting very far today. What are you doing with their corpses? You just leaving them to freeze?
I would be keen to leave them as a sign that we've dealt with them. So any other further raiders that follow behind, it's like, well, if you want to follow us, this is what's going to happen. So I'm going to make it super obvious where, they're there. Even, maybe pin one to a tree or something with a spear, so it ain't going to get covered in snow. So, this is brutally obvious what's happened here.
Yep. So Gurg, with his colossal strength, will quite easily be able to, especially one of those casters, because they're not super heavy. Where the other thing I want to ask about is, so Trin, one thing we haven't talked about yet is how specifically Trin sort of connected the possibility of help from the other heroes. So here's something you may not have known. Trin saw the Griffin riding heroes arrive who ended up killing Kelly Lee. This is several months back now, but when you were out ranging on your own at one point, you saw this pack of, and I think you guys know there's wild griffins, but there are also these really big pain in the ass other people who live in these mountains called Goliaths. And there's one pack of them that have somehow mastered griffins, and they love just dropping them down and trying to feed their griffins on gnolls. So smartly, when you saw these things coming, you hid. But you later learned that the reason that everything fell apart, the reason that Kelly Lee is dead, is because of those Griffin Riders. Did Trin keep that to himself? Or does anybody else know that Trin saw them?
I think he'd have kept that to himself.
Okay.
As gnolls don't get on with the likes of those sort of people, dwarfs and elves and etc. etc. So he'd have put that in the back of his mind. Once we've got this treasure, regrouped with the tribe, see how it goes, see what it's gonna, how it's gonna pan out, whether we're gonna find somewhere nice to settle down, whatever. But he can have that in the back of his mind, and he'll be trying to sort of almost keep a registered memory of sites. Where did I see them last? Is that mountain and that peak that they were flying towards, and so he can try and one day, if he needs to, track them down. Well,
and it's I think that Trin, not only did you see that there were those Goliaths among them, you were able to sneak and hide and spy down on them to see that there were dwarves and elves and humans among them. Like it was a veritable army, of people with gear and abilities way beyond what even the most powerful members of your tribe are. And they also somehow managed to sneak their way in. Because the gnolls didn't know, from what I remember, you guys can correct me if I got this wrong, but I don't remember there being any confrontations with gnolls outside of the Caves of Hunger. You guys got in there, you snuck in and made your way in and fought your way forward and then killed Kelly Lee. So that was the shocking thing. And this is sort of, how much it eats at Trin of whether he had told everyone, whether he had warned the tribe, whether that would have changed things. If they were powerful enough to kill Kelly Lee, they may have been powerful enough to take on any oncomers, but you didn't do it. You didn't tell them. And it wasn't until after the fact that you're living with them.
Yeah, that is a good potential why he went off on his own to sort of right the wrongs. That, because there would have definitely have been lots of casualties during the whole, vampire sort of business. So many of his tribe would have died before they all sort of scattered to the
things have been quite like it's the desperation to suddenly strike out. There's been your tribe may not have been the first one, but it's among sort of when everyone is leaving there, because you may remember in the actual campaign they're all gone by the time you guys come back several months later, and we're in that interregnum between when things are starting to fall apart in there and before you reach the point. What my intent is with our war stories, we're going to find out what drives Trin to the point where he will, decide to leave everything behind and go there. We don't know whether these other heroes are still alive. We don't know if they die between now and when Trin leaves them to go and join the rest of the party. But I think that'll be part of the fun of this war story, is seeing how that pans out.
Cool.
So Trin, I think, is Mormo. You can see Trin is once again like his. You catch him looking up at the skies once again, and like there's just nothing but clouds coming in. You sort of shoulder him. Gnolls are all pretty big, but I think of the ones that are here, Trin's got a really high strength, so he actually is quite big, probably, or at least ropey and strong.
Yeah, he's got low constitution, but he's
Yeah.
he's strong. So he's wiry.
He skips
I
lung
see him
day.
as really wiry sort of character.
All right. So, any spells or anything being cast while you guys are traveling for this first little bit? Okay. So then, Voxot, you are the one who finds the shelter that will keep all of you guys. I think it's going to be a cave. I know that's so disappointing for Voxot, but there is a cave. And it looks like, you're still... What do we roll for the thing? It's like 6 off or 10? Still several hours off from the storm coming in. What's it here? Yeah, 10. Still several hours off from the storm coming in, but when it hits, it's going to be a fucking brutal one. Anything you guys wish to do in your downtime while you're getting yourself set up in here before the storm hits?
Should we maybe try and gather some food in the few hours we got spare?
You certainly have enough. I think either... let's see here. It's 10 hours until it sets in. I believe both Mormo with his barbarian levels and Voxot with his primal druid levels can actually automatically recover or retrieve a certain amount of food.
Trin's just always worried that this storm might last longer than he expects, so you might be held up for a day or two. So if we could, get a bit of extra food.
So yeah, if you both want to go, let's see here. Dave, you can recover. It's enough for enough food and water for 2 to 8 people. So 2d4.
And I have a create water spell that I.
Which creates 2 gallons, and you need 1 gallon a day. Oh, I think it's 2 gallons per level as well. So that's actually 6 gallons you can create.
Yeah. And it says you can either cast it into containers, or you can cast it as a small, powerful rainstorm. And so I was like, I could also use that if I just want to wash.
The cold is the thing. I was actually foreseeing is that it's a subtle way of fucking over people, because if you create water on them in this climate, getting wet in this is very, very bad.
Yeah.
Cold shower, freezing shower.
Yeah.
I like it.
So your Deerstalker ability, Andrew, it needs 1d6 plus 2 hours of hunting. As for yourself, let's see here. Oh, so the barbarian is self-directed. It's not like the druid. You definitely have some survival abilities, but it can't find food for others the way a ranger or a primal druid can.
Well, that's good, because I only found food for 4 people.
Okay, so then that would count as
food for himself.
Is it?
Yeah.
So the barbarian finds food for himself, and I can find food for the other 4. We've got food for the day.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So you got your food for a full day. I think you guys would have rations on you as well. One thing I didn't include is I didn't include the sundry gear and whatnot, but the adventurers...
Well, that's something we could have also stolen from the other group. If the other group had rations, I would have totally stolen their rations.
So let's do this. Why don't we have... we'll say there's iron rations. Let's say... let's say 2d4 worth of iron rations each. And that'll be a day's worth of food. So Mormo's got 4 days of food. Trin's got 4 days of food. Voxot's got 4 days of food.
Zurich has 3.
Mormo's got 3 days of food. And Trin's got 4 days of food.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. So you guys are sitting okay for your food. I will mention as well, you don't, not because it's coming up, but just to reinforce, you can use hero points to alter scenes as well, too. You can edit, just like you can in a lot of other of the games we play, you can use hero points for that as well. Subject to my approval, of course.
The guys that we got attacked by, would they have had food on them that we could have also put them?
I think that, yeah, most definitely. Why don't you, let's see, there were 9 of them, plus 2 other ones. Let's say there's 18 rations. Now, I think it's only 25% chance of it being iron rations, though. So why don't you give us a percentile roll? Let's see if it was iron rations or regular stuff. Regular stuff will just expire in a week.
This sounds like a Trin thing, because he's the leader.
Oh, so close. So close.
Can I use a luck point on that?
You cannot, because it's on a D20 roll, not on a... Yeah. So with what you find is, I mean, the upside is you've got 20 days of rations, but they'll expire in a week.
Yeah, so we use them first.
Yeah. Okay.
4 each.
So you guys have 4 each, except for Mormo. Mormo's got 3.
No,
those...
I mean, these non-iron rations we just got from the other guys.
Oh, non-iron rations. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 4 each.
So we need. Oh, our character sheets don't really have a nice little. Oh no, there is a journal feature.
Yeah, the journal's where I've got all your abilities and your gear. I separate it up into advantages, class and race abilities, and
I
then
can put some stuff down here.
Gear, yeah.
Okay, so
There's also at the bottom left of the character sheet, there's a spot to add inventory stats.
Yeah, there's an inventory button as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, well that will work.
Okay. So then, Trin, let's roll for random encounters here as well, guys. Let's see. Okay.
Zerg. Oh, I'm already on Zerg.
Okay. So for the hunting portion of it, while Trin and while Foxout and Mormo are out collecting, doing their hunting during the 6 hours, Zirk, Trin, and Gurg, do you guys have anything you wish to do?
Definitely be gathering up some sort of firewood, etc. for heating up.
Trin, let's see here. That is one thing that's a challenge in here. Let me get... Because there's some...
I've got the knack wilderness survival. I don't know if that would
what that allow you to do, normally the way that knacks work is basically the game is very conscious of kind of the like thematic space that certain classes occupy, like rogues in the game. Unless you've got an ability like a rogue, no one can do it better than a rogue. And the way they model that is that only rogues can add their level to like move silently, to hide or whatnot. A knack is one way to get around that, is to get something that allows you to overlap there. And then the game itself also, if you're using stuff from Amazing Adventures, which is a compatible modern-day pulp kind of game, they've also got great rules for swapping out class abilities. So if you want something that fits more with your character, you can design a character that way as well. But what your knack does, you're going to be able to add, so this would be a wisdom check.
It makes it prime as well, doesn't it? So
it does, yeah. So then let's see here. That means starting. Where are you here, Trin? Here we go. So,
wisdom.
And your wisdom is actually a prime stat already. So it's a 9 to start with. Let me just get a sense that there is some suggestions for navigating in here. And the Castle Keeper's Guide. There's a ton of stuff in the Castle Keeper's Guide. I got rules for weathering armor, guys. So if you don't include the necessary stuff to oil your weapons, I can have them wear down over time. I know that's the thing you feel has been missing from all of our campaigns. Kev, I don't get a chance of seeing how rust affects our character's gear. Do you have any rules that will...
I'm sure Dave's well up on all this sort of stuff, so we won't have any problems with that.
Let's see here. Yeah, weapon. Wastage. Here we go.
A resident armor smith.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, my recommendation is use stainless steel, but whatever. Or titanium. Just get some titanium armor. You're fine. Lighter, corrosion resistant.
Mm-hmm. My one of my dice bags, at least, that Dave made for me, has a DR3.
Titanium.
It's pretty badass. All right, hold on. Navigation. You know, fuck, I can make it up.
Oh, Ice King, you did mismatch missiles.
Okay. 108.
some zinc-coated plate mail. Maybe?
God, I found what I'm looking for. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so... I think we'll call it CL3. Kind of challenging, but not super hard. So what that means is your basic CB is a 9 with wisdom. It would make it a 12, so you need to roll a 1d20 plus 5 against a target number of 12. Nice. 19. So yeah, you're easily able to find combustibles for today, Trin. Your scavenging nature really is you're proving true to that. So that's what Trin is doing, is getting the stuff to keep you guys warm for the evening. Also, Gnoll's just like in AD&D, you don't have dark vision. Gurg and Zirk, what are you guys doing during that 6-hour period?
Zirk is probably, because he has herbalism, is probably going to try, before that storm hits, he's going to try to see if he can gather up some more herbs to replenish his stock in case he needs them.
Okay. So let's see here.
So
let's take a look at your thing here. Now, if you think that I'm going to leave you high and dry, I've got a package arriving next week from Troll Lord Games that includes a booklet that deals with crafting shit with herbalism.
Cool. Yeah. I have a couple characters who might be able to use some of the stuff in there.
So let's see here. Herbalism would be wisdom as well. This one's gonna be a little easier than finding. Let's say it'll be a challenge level 2. So it's target number 10, 1d20 plus 3 against target number 10. Or
Let's
DC 10.
Lower than 10?
10 or higher, always higher in this game.
Yeah, I did it wrong way around.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the Trin's roll above.
Yeah, I did under instead of over.
Yeah, everything is always higher, is always better in this game. There you go. You found some stuff for. Okay, cool. So what you find? Let's see here. I think there were some suggestions in the herbalism. What are you looking for? Something to like natural remedies to treat illnesses and wounds. Something to make poisons or toxins, or Voxot used up 2 dressings for that.
Yeah, I think like healing and wounds is probably where I'm going to focus, because Voxot, as you said, used up 2 that. Morma seems to be more prone to hurting himself than the enemy, so I think healing will be necessary.
So let's say, why don't you give us a 1d2 plus 1? That's how many dressings that you have replenished.
I'm not in the 1d2 plus 1?
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, nice.
So you actually have more. So if you're turning it over to Voxot, then Voxot, you actually have now 7 dressings. Or 7 dressings and still 6 bandages.
Yeah, I'll turn it over to Voxot then. And
okay.
So
and then finally, cool. Gurg. Does Gurg want to do anything with his time?
I don't think he's really got anything.
He could be defending the camp. I mean, he is certainly.
Yeah, I mean, he would be basically checking out this cave, making sure there's no little weird sort of little gaps at the back where some creatures might come through, and just doing a general little scout of the area, making sure it's secure.
Let's do this. So,
as much as possible.
One thing they say in the game, and if you guys like secret roles, I'm happy to do those, because like I think it's a really great idea in Pathfinder, and it helps with immersion. But the game says, that as much as you can, everything should be transparent. So if you're looking for something, you will know whether your character succeeded or failed. You just need to roleplay accordingly, and it trusts that the players will roleplay that way. So we'll try it that way, and then if you feel that you guys want me to start using secret roles, we can do that. I think this is going to be a wisdom check then. So just to check this place out, it'll be a CL1. So that means you're going to be rolling against an 18. It's 1d20 plus 4 against an 18.
18.
You're not the wisest of cats, unfortunately.
No. Oh,
this succeeds though.
He's got a bit of time on his hands.
So here's the thing you find. There is definitely something that has been using this as a lair.
And what sort of evidence have I got? Is it remains of food or?
Yeah, like remains of food and scat and like, you know, the rubbing of fur. There are some feathers in here as well too, which is a weird combination. And this is something you find, I think, closer to the end of your, as everyone's sort of coming back in.
I'll point it out to try and see if any of the hunter types would be able to try and identify what it might be.
Yeah. I think, let's see here,
and see how recent.
So this isn't an unfamiliar environment. Primal druids can automatically identify things without having to make an attribute check. I think you can place together. There is a type of creature that you know is fairly common to the Icewind Dale that has that combination of fur. It lives in dens.
Griffins? Hippogriffs?
You're thinking like that.
Flying owlbear, perhaps?
Owlbears. Snowy owlbears are most definitely found in this region, and they definitely have a mixture of fur and the feathers. So it appears that you are in an owlbear's den as the storm begins to set in. So we're 9 minutes early, but I think that's probably a good place to end session 1 so we can actually award some XP, guys. So Anna's excited too. Aren't you excited? Hey? Yeah? Oh yeah. Okay. Here we go. No, you can't jump up there. Don't try it. Don't. There's like enough space the size of a book that's open, and she's judging whether she can leap over the other books to get up there. Don't you do it. All right, guys. So the XP for today. Let's see. So one of the neat things, you actually get XP from a variety of different things in this game. Where is it here? Experience. There you go, 228. Okay. So, you get XP from monsters you faced. You get XP from money you recover. You get XP from magic items you find. You get story XP equal to the monster of hit dice that was challenging to you. So I've given you hit dice or a amount of XP for protecting the sled equal to as if you defeated a 4 hit dice monster. And you also get XP from good role playing. Range is 25 to 250 depending on the level of the characters. This was an excellent introduction for these characters, guys. So I think we're going to go 150 for that. So let's total this up here. I believe I have on all the character sheets what you need for your next level. Some of them, like, there's no chance of us getting it in this war story, but some of them, you guys are not that far off. Okay, 62. All right, so here we go. $40. All right, and there are 5 of you guys. You guys are all earning 131 XP, 131 XP for today's session. You can add that onto your current XP. You should all be at 12,001 right now. All right. So then, guys, that brings us to the end of part 1 of Prey and the Pack. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for part 1 of this Legacy of the Crystal Shard war story. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. I'll also, before I forget to, Andrew, I'll check and see how long it takes you to learn new spells. as well, because I mean, it's worth knowing whether Zirk could spend time committing on one of those new spells to his own spell book.
Right, yeah.
In addition, there is a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server where all of us are active. We have channels there dedicated to most games we run on the channel, as well as a bunch of other great channels, including Finding a Group and Convention Chat, and just a bunch of great people, a bunch of great conversation. You are more than welcome to join us over there. In addition, there is a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That's the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. That benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really great organization active in over 130 countries that benefits over 80,000 orphan and abandoned children, including, at the time of recording, ongoing relief efforts in Ukraine and the surrounding regions. All money that is donated through that link goes directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to help them, help the kids who benefit from those activities. And as well, as a small way of saying thank you, for every $25 that you donate, Canadian, you get one chance to win the grand prize or one of the other great prizes in our next charity raffle. Next charity raffle will be the second week of June. You can find all information about that on the Dungeon Musings Discord server under the Charity Initiatives channel. You can also find under that, if you have donated since August 1st, 2021, you can find ways there to spend the money you've donated for our next charity session. Our next charity session will be on Saturday, May 14th. We will be going to back under the Dark Sun and the Sands of Athos for a special one-shot. You will be able to help create our characters for that session. So you, if you have donated, or you will be donating between now and the near future, then be sure to go over there and spend the money that you have donated to help create, select which heroes will be taking up arms under the Dark Sun. In addition, there's a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the premier retailer of out-of-print RPGs in North America, as well as a great source of new RPGs and board games and cards. They also have a really terrific wish list system where you can, if you're trying to find a book, particularly for out-of-print stuff, and you can't find it in their stock, you can often put it on a wish list, and they will let you know once it comes in stock. And if at checkout, if you're purchasing $10 or more through their website and you enter the code DungeonMuser, you'll save 10% in your purchase. And that stacks with any kind of sale or whatnot they maybe have going on. So be sure to save yourself some money if you're making any purchases through there by entering the code DungeonMuser at checkout. I have been using Noble Knight Games for years as my source of filling out out-of-print games. They are terrific, great way of keeping track of wish list things that you want to get. They always have terrific packaging, and if you have problems with your order, they deal with it immediately. I got a weird misprint on my Monster Mythology copy, and they didn't hesitate to send me a new copy as soon as I sent it, and there wasn't any pain in the ass of like sending back or any shit like that. Like, they're just a great shop. So we're very grateful for them sharing that. The prizes as well too. I've talked about them quite a bit. I'll be posting about them on the Charity Initiatives channel, so I won't make our brave Gnoll pack wait along any longer just to have me go through it. But I will say that one of the prizes that is available at our next charity raffle, or two of the prizes, were donated by our resident armor smith here, Dave. Dave very generously made a awesome chainmail dice bag for one lucky prize winner, and he's also donated a trilogy of AD&D second edition books, the Player's Handbook, DMG, and Monstrous Manual. So Dave, thank you so much for that. Last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our brave players. So Darren, Dave, and Andrew, thank you so much for joining me back in the Icewind Dale, this time with a bunch of furrier and more fang-filled heroes, but this was a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes. For those listening at home, we're not this war story is not going to be like some of the other war stories where it replaces the campaign until we're done the story. This is sort of going to be our regular go-to pickup game if we find ourselves down too many players, so we can continually be pushing the story forward in the Icewind Dale. But I expect to see our Gnoll heroes back again soon, I'm sure. until next time, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time in the Icewind Dale, either with our regular group of heroes or back with these furry fellows. Until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and see what the troubles these doomed Gnoll heroes will be getting up to in the coming weeks in the Icewind Dale. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.
Know your limits.